Hey, welcome back. It's Art of Cycling. I'm Greg Leach. Appreciate you all coming back, and or obviously some of you may be dropping in for the first time. Appreciate that as well, of course. Thank you to the one or two new followers. Always nice to have some other people find this and enjoy it enough to want to subscribe. If you do that, you'll be able to discover when I post a new painting. I am doing one of these per stage of the tour. And this year, right after the Tour de France, the Olympics start. I will be painting the Olympics as well. And that'll not be quite as in-depth as this has been. But, well, the part you're seeing will be roughly the same. I'll probably post one of these per day. But if you go to my cycling blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com, and you'll be able to see all of the watercolors I've done thus far in the tour. And of course, there will be a few more to come. We're on stage 12. No, stage 13. Sadly, Primoz Roglic, who crashed at the end of the stage yesterday, left in stage 13. Also know a Russo, who rides for UAE Team Emirates. His team is the 11 through 18, and he got he got the bib number 13. And despite having worn the bib upside down, which is what riders will do to ward off the bad luck, ended up not starting today. So number 13 did not start on stage 13. He was also involved in the crash that took out Roglic. Roglic was sitting in fourth overall when he crashed, and was the guy making this a three-person race. So the Tour lost a little bit of their excitement. And it was really not well labeled dangerous road furniture for what it's become the expression. I first heard it from Phil Liggett on NBC, who shockingly is covering the tour for his 52nd time, which is just an incredible feat. There's such a ongoing disrespect of age happening in U.S. politics right now. And my wife keeps jokingly recalled every time Phil makes a mistake, she goes, he needs to pull out. He needs to resign. She supports Phil Liggett and others of age continuing to pursue their... Shoot, I had the title for this and now I forgot it. Had it in my mind. There we go, pushing their advantage. These two, Tobias Johansson in the back in the for X, had gotten away on the climb. The guy in front, who is Richard Carapaz, had jumped clear, going around Johannesson's teammate, who was trying to gain just one more point in the KOM competition, which would then take him back to being the leader. But Carapaz kind of ruined that, and once he went, the peloton swamped the polka dot jersey. Swamped just means like riding along. And there goes Pippin to let us all know he's here. God forbid, there's probably a dog walking up the street. Could be the mailman. So, and then as a defensive move, once Carapaz went, Johansson went with him to sort of defend his teammate, in the sense that if he grabs the King of the Mountain points, then there was only one in the top of the climb, so nobody else was going to be able to go ahead of his teammate. So that's how you defend your teammates. If he can't be there himself, you steal the points so nobody else can get them. It's a weird little... There's so many little nuances to bike racing. I've been following the tour since the 70s, watching it since, here's a funny statement, since the last century. But, and then I started painting it in 2012. And then those of you who got here because NBC, you saw them aired on NBC or Peacock or whatever permutation you were watching NBC Sports' coverage of the tour. That started very organically. I was using Twitter, and of course I painted my, here we go, watching the tour. One of our dogs that we had at the time, this beautiful white shepherd, happened to be in the painting. And I mean, in the photograph of me painting the tour. And half hour after I posted that, I may have told the story before, but about a half hour after I posted that, I saw that I had an email from the then director of that year's coverage, and saying, hey, we really love this. And they had retweeted it online. They said, would you be willing to send us a time-lapse video? And without thinking, I just immediately replied. This is a rule of business and whatever else, is seize the opportunity. I like to say yes and then figure out how, and that's exactly what I was doing. So I sent back an email, said, of course, in fact, I'll send you one every stage. Just make sure you have them, Because they were just like saying, well, we'll do this as, it sounded like it would be a one-off. And I'm like, well, one would be great, two would be better, and on up. And then sent the email all saying, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Of course, I had no idea how to do that. I do now. But, and in fact, and here's my Apple plug for the day. So I called my son, one of my two sons, and I said, hey, how do I do this? And he goes, oh, it's really easy on an iPad, which I did not have at the time. So he brought his iPad over, and I made it happen. And that year they posted 2 or 3, and then graciously they have agreed to every right before the tour kicks off, I ask, hey, are you willing to do it again this year? And so far they've been willing. In some years, I'm trying to think what year it was. Might have been pandemic year. But so they do, like that year they shared it 2 or 3 times. And so in every year they've shared them in, some number of times, let's just say it that way, with 1 year being virtually every stage. And this is so crazy that, and I take these things quite seriously, and, as one should, and making sure that I provide them one and paint, and even for you guys, paint live every day. I'm not talking about the artwork at all, am I? That despite things going on, and pandemic years why I thought of this, that my wife had a kidney transplant, and while I was not a good donor for her, I did a paired exchange. If you don't know about that, it's a wonderful thing. You can volunteer to donate a kidney in a paired exchange. So my kidney did not go to my wife because we were a terrible match. My joke, and I may have said this before, is we are as bad a match internally as we are good externally. So, where I was going with that was that the year we did the transplant, which was in September, was the year the tour was postponed because of COVID and race. So I actually was painting the tour when we did the transplant. And so the day I did my donation, so I had surgery early in the morning, and that afternoon I was back painting the tour. Now, in fairness, I've only painted one painting of that day, caught back up to real time later. But the same day of the surgery, that afternoon, there I was painting a painting of good old Thomas de Ghent in a breakaway. Now, I will be the first to admit it wasn't my best. I mean, I did just have surgery. But by the next day, I was back full schedule painting. It was nice. It gave me something to concentrate on. So with all of this story, I haven't kept up on telling you what's going on. So here's the piece, these guys getting away. They may actually be left to hang out, make it to the rest of the stage. So far, they've built up a bit of a gap. And again, want to see all these paintings? They are available for sale, although they're selling good, so you may not be able to get the one you're looking for. And at my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com, and there you'll find the link to click through to my website, gregleach.com. These will be in the description below, where you can purchase the work. Shipping is included. International gets a little extra charge. But thanks so much for checking this out, and be sure to come back for tomorrow's painting. Thank you.